I'm Lakshmi Prasanna, Assistant Professor, Department of ECE, Institute of Aeronautical Engineering. Welcome to the lecture session of image processing. In this session, we will learn about inverse filtering and Wiener filtering. So, in these two types of filters, that is inverse filtering and Wiener filtering, we are going to cover some concepts under that, like we will see some mathematical analysis related to this inverse filtering, and we will also know, after learning this concept, what are the advantages and limitations of this inverse filtering. And here next one is Wiener filtering. So in Wiener filtering, we will learn the mathematical analysis related to this Wiener filtering, and after the entire concept, we will understand what are the advantages and limitations of Wiener filtering. So here this inverse filtering and Wiener filtering both comes under filters. So generally filter means they are used to reduce the noise present in the image. Now coming to the detailed discussion about that inverse filtering and Wiener filtering, mainly these two filters are used for image restoration. So we have already discussed what is meant by image restoration. Simply let us recall what is meant by image restoration. So image restoration means retrieving the information from the image. That means here the process of retrieving the original image from the degraded image we will call as image restoration. So this inverse filtering and Wiener filtering, they are used for image restoration. Not only the two filters, we have different filters again which are used for image restoration. So before going to that two filters, we need to have idea about this image degradation and restoration process. So already this concept we have discussed in the previous session. So let us have a brief idea about this image degradation and restoration process. So this concept will have two stages. First stage is degradation and the second stage is restoration. So this degradation stage is used to degrade the input image. So after degrading, here input image is considered as f of x comma y. So after degrading this input image, we are going to get output as degraded image, which is represented as g of x comma y. So what this g of x comma y? It is the degraded image. It is the combination of the degraded function h and also the additive noise n of x comma y. So here g of x comma y is equal to the degraded function h summation and the additive noise n. Considering this degraded image as input to this restoration filters, we will get the output f cap of x comma y. So this f cap of x comma y is the estimated output. So the main goal of this restoration filters are, in order to get the estimated output equal to the original image. So here this degradation restoration process consists of two stages. One is degradation, another one is restoration. So now we are learning about inverse filter and Wiener filter. These comes under this restoration filters, what we are going to learn. So these restoration filters are used to retrieve the information that is present in the original image. So let us see some small mathematical analysis related to this image degradation and restoration process. So the same figure, considering this same figure, Here the mathematical representation of the degraded image. So here the degraded image is g of x comma y, which is the summation of the degradation function multiplied with the input image f of x comma y, and in addition to that we will also have some additive noise. Now to represent this degraded image g of x comma y, from this figure we can write g of x comma y is equal to h of x comma y. So this is h of x comma y, which is the degraded function, into f of x comma y. So this is f of x comma y, which will be multiplied with the degradation function h. And this is the input image. Plus, so we are having here some adder, plus additive noise n of x comma y. So here this symbol represents convolution operation. So this is what we can represent the degraded image g of x comma y in terms of spatial domain. So to represent the same thing in terms of frequency domain, we can write in terms of Fourier transform, applying Fourier transform. The Fourier transform of g of x comma y is g of u comma v. Similarly, h of x comma y will be represented as h of u comma v in frequency domain. So here f of x comma y will be represented as f of u comma v in frequency domain, and similarly this additive noise is represented as n of u comma v in frequency domain. So while representing in spatial domain, we will have here convolution. If it is converted into frequency domain, the convolution will become here multiplication. So this is how we have to represent the degraded image g of x comma y in terms of spatial domain and frequency domain. So why we are discussing about this concept, recalling this concept means we are going to use this equation in the analysis of inverse filtering and Wiener filtering. So we are going to use this equation. Now, so coming to the types of restoration filters, one is inverse filtering. So restoration means it is the process of retrieving the original image from the degraded image. So here degraded image is represented as g of x comma y or g of u comma v in frequency domain. So retrieving the image, the output what we are going to expect here is f cap of x comma y if it is in spatial domain. If it is frequency domain, we have to get f cap of u comma v, that is the estimated output. So estimated output should be similar to the original image. So noise should be reduced. So the main goal of this inverse filtering or Wiener filtering or any restoration filters is to retrieve the original image from the degraded image. So for that purpose, we are going to apply different types of restoration filters. One among is inverse filtering. So here another name for this inverse filtering is, we can also represent it as direct inverse filtering. So it is going to perform the filtering operation in the inverse manner. We will see how and the mathematical analysis related to that. Now the main goal of this inverse filtering, that is restoration filter, is to get the estimated output f cap of u comma v. So the estimated output we have seen in the figure, the previous figure. We can observe here, it is represented as f cap of x comma y, that is the estimated output, that is our goal. In frequency domain, it can be represented as f cap of u comma v. So of the transform original image, so we can get this estimated output by simply dividing g of u comma v with h of u comma v. So what is this g of u comma v? it is the degraded image. We have seen g of x comma y. In frequency domain, it is represented as g of u comma v by the degradation function h of u comma v. So in the previous figure, we have seen the image is degraded with the degradation function h. So it is represented as here h of u comma v. So we are going to get, in this inverse filtering, we are going to get the estimated output by simply dividing the degraded image with the degradation function. So that is what here the definition is given. So we can compute the estimated output f cap of u comma v of the transform of the original image simply by dividing the transform of the degraded image g of u comma v by the degraded function h of u comma v. So this formula we have taken from the image degradation process. Again, one mathematical formula we have achieved from the degradation process is g of u comma v. So considering this equation, so let us consider this f cap of u comma v is g of u comma v by h of u comma v. So considering the equation what we have written for the image degradation and restoration process, that is g of u comma v is equal to h of u comma v into f of u comma v plus n of u comma v. So consider this is equation number 2. So now here we have g of u comma v. In this formula we have the ratio g of u comma v by h of u comma v. So now let us substitute this g of u comma v in the equation 1. That means here this g of u comma v will be replaced with this equation 2. Okay. So substitute equation 2 in equation 1. So here we will get f cap of u comma v is equal to, so g of u comma v is here h of u comma v into f of u comma v plus n of u comma v by, so as usual we have h of u comma v. Okay. So consider this is equation number 3. Okay. So if you separate this term, we will get f cap of u comma v is equal to, so here we have h of u comma v and here also we have h of u comma v. Both the terms will get cancelled. So the first term we will have only f of u comma v, which is the input image, plus, and another term we have here is n of u comma v by h of u comma v. Now, so this is the main equation what we got as the estimated output. Now considering this, we have to discuss what will happen if we use inverse filtering, what are the advantages and what are the limitations. Now, so coming to here this formula, so what is this h of u comma v? H of u comma v is the degradation function. For example, if we consider this h of u comma v degradation function as the value 0, what will happen? The ratio of n of u comma v by 0, this entire term will become infinity. Okay. So in this case, what will happen means the estimated output f of u comma v will be high compared to the original image f of u comma v, because we will be having the infinity term here. That is the main limitation. So we should not consider this h of u comma v as 0. We have to consider some small value. And even this is the first case, and if we go for the second case, that is considering this n of u comma v. So what is this n of u comma v? It represents noise, the additive noise that we are going to have in the image. And calculating this noise is also somewhat different, because it is we cannot apply Fourier transform for this because it will be changing randomly. So because of these two terms, these two cases, we have some discussion here, what we have discussed in that formula. The above equation means equation number 4, what we have derived. Okay, it tells us that even if you know the degradation function, here the degradation function is h of u comma v. Even if you know the value of h of u comma v, we cannot recover the undegraded image. Undegraded image is here f cap of u comma v. Why? Because exactly n of u comma v is the random function whose Fourier transform is not known. That is what we have discussed. That is the limitation. And also the inverse Fourier transform of f of u comma v cannot be found. So if the degradation function has 0 value, because it is the ratio of, you can see here, it is the ratio of n by h. If the degradation is having a 0 value, what will happen? Then the ratio of this entire value will become infinity. So it is going to dominate than the estimated output f cap of u comma v. So one approach, so what is the next thing we have to do in order to get the estimated output? Means one approach is to get around the 0 or small value problem is to limit the filter frequencies. So here we have the filter h of u comma v. So we should not consider this as a 0 value. Some other limited frequencies we have to consider. Then what are the frequencies we have to consider means it should be very near to the origin. The selected frequencies should be very near to the origin. So at the origin, generally what will be the points at the origin? It will be 0, 0. That means the value of u and v will be 0 and 0. So h of 0, 0 will be equal to the average value of h of x, y, and that should be usually the highest value, the next value other than 0, what we have to consider while indicating in the frequency domain. So this is the main limitation by considering this noise n of u comma v and the degraded function h of u comma v. So those are the limitations in this inverse filtering. We will discuss here. Now, after learning about the concept of inverse filtering, we have observed some advantages of inverse filtering. It is simple and straightforward approach. That means the deconvolution and all will be done directly and directly reverses the known degradation function. So these are the two advantages of using inverse filtering. And what are the limitations of inverse filtering means, as we have observed, by selecting the value of n and h leads to the limitation. So it is highly sensitive to noise because we have seen the mathematical analysis in the formula. It consists of the noise term n of u comma v. Highly sensitive to noise and it amplifies any noise present in the degraded image because it is one of the restoration filter. And it is having instability. So where it is having instability means selecting the filter transfer function h of u comma v. As we have discussed, it should not be 0. If it is 0, the estimated output will be higher than the original image. So it should, the frequency should be very near to the origin. So if h of u comma v has small values or zeros, what happens? As it is, the formula is having the division can result a very large value which is causing instability. So this instability is the limitation in inverse filtering and not effective when noise is significant because it will be randomly changing. So this is what about inverse filtering. Coming to the next type of restoration filter. So the next type of restoration filter is Wiener filter. So same as we know, the purpose of restoration filter is it is the process of retrieving the original image from the degraded image. So like inverse filter, this Wiener filter is also one of the restoration image. So we have seen the limitation in inverse filtering, as it is having in the formula the ratio of n by h. Selecting the value of n, selecting the value of h, the system is leading to instability. So in order to overcome that limitation which is available in inverse filtering, we will go for Wiener filtering. So Wiener filter will overcome the drawback in inverse filtering. So N. Wiener is a person who introduced the Wiener filter in the year 1942. So we have other names for this Wiener filter. So the other names for this Wiener filter is minimum mean square error filter, and it can also be called as least square error filter. And so here Wiener filter work more effectively than inverse filtering. So we have seen there is a limitation in inverse filtering. So Wiener filter will overcome that limitation and it works very effectively compared to inverse filtering. So how it is going to work effectively means it aims to minimize the mean square error. It is going to reduce the error present in between the two important aspects. So what are the two important aspects? One is the estimated image. Here it is represented as f cap of u comma v, and the original image. So here it is represented, the original image, as f of u comma v. So it is going to reduce the error present in between the two terms. So it is simply represented in the mathematical formula like this. So taking into account, so previously the inverse filter has taken the noise term and the degraded function term, that is n and h, in analysis. So that is the main limitation, and it can be overcome by using this Wiener filter because it is not going to consider that n and h. It is going to consider some other terms like degradation process and the statistical properties of image and the noise. So as it is considering these terms, it is going to perform better compared to inverse filtering. So this aim, minimizing the difference between the estimated output and the input image, here it is represented in terms of mathematical formula like E square is equal to E of f minus f cap whole square. Okay, here this also can be represented as E square is equal to E of f of x comma y minus f cap of x comma y whole square. Same thing can be also represented with the help of coordinates also. Here mainly we can observe this is the difference. It is going to identify, it is going to minimize the difference between this estimated output and the input image f of x comma y. And here E dot, that means here the difference we have is here E dot is the expected value, and this f of x comma y is the input image, and this f cap of x comma y is the estimated output. So the main aim is to get the minimized error. Now, so here we will see some small mathematical analysis related to this Wiener filtering. So the minimum of error function is given in the frequency domain. So the Wiener filtering can be represented in the frequency domain as f cap of u comma v is equal to h star of u comma v into sf of u comma v by sf of u comma v mod h of u comma v square plus s eta of u comma v. So let us into g of u comma v. So let us consider this equation as 1. So this is the frequency domain expression for Wiener filtering. So in this term, we can, in this formula, we can observe different terms like h of u comma v, which is called degradation function, and h star of u comma v is called the complex conjugate of h of u comma v, and mod h of u comma v whole square can be also written as h star of u comma v into h of u comma v, and s eta of u comma v can also be considered as mod n of u comma v whole square. So this h eta of u comma v is the power spectrum of the noise, and sf of u comma v can also be written as mod f of u comma v whole square, and sf of u comma v is the power spectrum of the undegraded image. Okay, so these are all the important terms we have to consider in order to perform the mathematical analysis to get the estimated output f cap of u comma v. So consider the expression of this Wiener filter as equation 1. Now considering this equation 1, here divide each term with sf of u comma v. So what is this sf of u comma v? It is the power spectrum of the undegraded image. Now consider this, if you divide each term with sf of u comma v, we will get h star of u comma v into sf of u comma v. This is the numerator term. Divide that by sf of u comma v by, so considering the denominator terms, sf of u comma v into mod h of u comma v whole square. So this term divide with sf of u comma v, plus there is also another term s eta of u comma v by sf of u comma v. So we have divided each term with sf of u comma v. So after dividing this, what is the simplified equation? See here, sf of u comma v. Okay, so what is the simplified expression we are going to get here? So this is the expression we are going to get. So consider this is equation number 2. See here, h star of u comma v is the first term, and in the denominator we have only mod h of u comma v whole square. So this is the second term in the denominator, and we have here s eta of u comma v by sf of u comma v. So this is another term into, here we have g of u comma v. So this is the equation 2. Now, so considering this equation 2 and the analysis, what we can write, h star of u comma v, this is h star of u comma v, which is the complex conjugate of h of u comma v. We can write here also h star of u comma v is there. We can substitute this h star of u comma v as mod h of u comma v whole square by h of u comma v. So let us consider. So from this we know that mod h of u comma v whole square is equal to h star of u comma v into h of u comma v. But here we need to have h star of u comma v. So from this equation we can write h star of u comma v complex conjugate of u comma v, h complex conjugate of u comma v is equal to mod h of u comma v whole square by h of u comma v. Okay, so consider this is equation number 3. Now if we substitute equation 3 in equation 2, so what we will get here, h star of u comma v can be represented as this equation, h of u comma v whole square, and here we have some h of u comma v term. Okay, it will be coming to the denominator by, so that will be coming to the denominator. So we will have h of u comma v, and we have another term which is h of u comma v whole square. Okay, plus here there is one more term, s eta of u comma v by sf of u comma v. Okay, into g of u comma v. So this is the expression what we are going to get. Okay, so this should be written separately. Why? Because it is the division for the entire term in the denominator. So we have to write it separately as 1 by, so for this h of u comma v. Okay, so here this is the final estimated output f cap of u comma v for this Wiener filtering. So in this, what we can observe here, we can see the ratio s eta of u comma v by sf of u comma v. It is not related to the transfer function h or the noise n. So the limitation in the inverse filtering can be overcome by using this Wiener filtering. So Wiener filter does not have the problem which is there in the inverse filter. Okay, so with zeros in the degradation function, also there is no limitation until unless if h of u comma v and s eta of u comma v are both zeros. That means here if this value and this value both are zeros, we will not get this f cap of u comma v as infinity. Otherwise it will be okay. So same values of u and v. So in this way the limitation of inverse filter can be overcome by using this Wiener filter. So after learning this concept, we can see what are the advantages. The advantages are it is robust to noise. That means it take into account the noise characteristics and reduces its amplification. And it is more stable. Why? Because it is not dependent on the noise n or h directly. So it incorporates regularization, reducing the impact of zeros or small values in h of u comma v. And it provides a better restoration quality in the presence of noise. And the limitations of this Wiener filtering are, it is more complex because we have seen in the mathematical analysis, we have the ratio of s eta of u comma v by sf of u comma v, which are the noise and estimated spectrum densities. So it requires knowledge or estimation of noise power spectral density and also the original image power spectral density. So we can see here it is the ratio. So we should have knowledge about this sf of u comma v, which is power spectrum of the undegraded image, and also s eta of u comma v, which is the power spectrum of the noise, and computationally more intensive compared to inverse filtering. So from this we can also understand it has overcome the limitation of inverse filtering, as well as this Wiener filter is also having some small limitation, like having the idea of sf of u comma v and s eta of u comma v. So even this limitation in Wiener filtering can be overcome by using some other sort of restoration filters, like constrained least square filtering or geometric mean filter. Those are also restoration filters which will overcome the limitation in Wiener filtering. So we will learn about some other types of restoration filters, like this constrained restoration filters and geometric mean filter in the upcoming sessions. So here we can see the effect of inverse filter and Wiener filter when we are using in order to reduce the blurring in the images. So we can observe here, this is the degraded image which we are going to achieve if we use full inverse filtering. And here this is the output of the radially limited inverse filter result. That means by proper selection of the frequencies. And here we can see this is the output of Wiener filter. So if you see here, inverse filter image is also not that clear, and here Wiener filter output is somewhat quality compared to the inverse filter. So in the next session we will learn some more restoration filters which will overcome the limitation of this Wiener filters. Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe. Hit the bell icon for more updates.